They smile in front of you and celebrate your failure behind closed doors. They ask how you're doing just to measure how far you've gone without them. They don't need to raise their voice, their silence is loud enough. These are the modern haters. Cowards dressed as friends, critics who've never built anything but are always ready to tear something down. And if you're not careful, they will pull you into their game, drain your energy, distort your name, and sabotage your rise. All while pretending to care. But this isn't a video about revenge. This is about defense, about taking back control. Because when Machiavelli wrote about power, he wasn't talking about cruelty, he was talking about survival. He taught us how to deal with enemies without shouting, how to break manipulators without touching them, how to win, even when surrounded. This is your strategy for dominance, for peace, for strength that doesn't scream but makes them kneel in silence. In this video, you'll learn how to deal with haters using Machiavelli's timeless strategies, how to protect your peace, gain silent control, and turn their envy into your fuel for dominance. Let them hate. Let them watch. Because after this, they'll never look at you the same way again. The reality of haters. Before you take a hater personally, you need to understand what they really are. They're not just angry. They're not just rude. They're threatened. Haters don't come after the weak. They don't waste their energy on people going nowhere. They show up the moment you start rising, because your growth exposes their stagnation. Your progress reminds them that they're still in the same place. Your confidence shows them what they lack. Your presence alone becomes a threat. That's why they gossip, that's why they mock. That's why they constantly find reasons to discredit you, not because of what you did wrong, but because you represent everything they haven't become. This is the dark psychology Machiavelli understood so well. He didn't fear enemies, he expected them. He knew that once you begin to take space, once you step into strength, you interrupt the comfort of small minds. You don't need to be loud, you don't need to be rich. Sometimes, just having peace is enough to trigger a storm in someone who's still broken. So the next time someone comes for you without reason, remember this: they are not reacting to you. They are reacting to what you make them feel about themselves. This is the true reality of haters. They are mirrors cracked by their own insecurity, and when they see someone whole, they panic. It's envy, it's fear, and sometimes it's competition. Because deep down, they believe there's only room for one. One leader, one voice, one spotlight, and when you step forward, they feel displaced, like your rise means their fall. So they fight you, not because you've taken anything from them, but because they think you might. Machiavelli knew this well in politics, in power, in life. People are more likely to forgive a wrong done to them than to forgive someone who's simply doing better. So what do we do with this truth? We stop trying to fix their perception. We stop wondering why they hate us. We accept it. And we keep moving. Because in the end, haters are nothing more than proof that you're a threat to their small world. Your presence alone disrupts their comfort zone, and that disruption is power. The goal is not to be liked by everyone. The goal is to be so focused, so consistent, so strong, that even those who can't stand you have no choice but to watch. Because the moment you stop fearing hate, you become unstoppable. Neutralize their power, divide and conquer. Sometimes, beating a hater isn't about confronting them, it's about making sure no one listens to them in the first place. That's how real power works, quietly, strategically. Machiavelli didn't believe in wasting energy on loud enemies. He believed in disarming them from the inside out, not with punches, but with isolation, with quiet shifts in loyalty, with influence. Next, surprise your critics. Haters expect you to fight back, not outsmart them. If someone's spreading rumors, do something unexpected, like complimenting their work in a group chat or sharing credit on a project. It's disowning. They can't attack someone who's lifting them up. For example, you once shut down a rival's shade by publicly thanking them for inspiration. The rival looked foolish, not fierce. Then build a crowd. Machiavelli knew loyalty is power. Share your time, skills, or even a small gesture, like helping a classmate study or hyping a colleague's idea. Those you help become your allies. When haters speak, your supporters drown them out. People trust someone who gives without strings, and that trust is your shield. Keep it calculated. Don't give to everyone. Machiavelli warned against reckless generosity. Choose who and when carefully. Your kindness should boost your image, not drain you. A well-placed favor at the right moment, like mentoring someone just as your hater's star fades, makes your rise undeniable. So, wield strategic generosity. Give smart, surprise your critics, build your army, and stay sharp. Your haters? They'll kneel, not because you fought, but because your kindness outplayed them, winning the crowd and leaving them voiceless in your shadow. So this is the divide and conquer strategy. When someone speaks against you, tries to turn others against you, question your worth, or damage your image, don't go after them, go after their influence. Because the truth is, no hater stands alone. They rely on a group, a few listeners, a few weak minds they can manipulate. Take away the crowd and the enemy collapses. That's your real target, not the noise they make, but the people who echo it. And you break that echo not by fighting, but by planting smarter seeds. Start building quiet trust with the people around them, not fake flattery, real connection. Speak with clarity, move with confidence. Let your consistency and calm presence do the talking. And the people they influence? They'll start to notice something different. They'll compare, they'll wonder. If he's so bad, why does he carry himself like that? If she's fake, why does everyone else seem to respect her? That's the crack in the wall. And from there, the collapse begins. You can also use another Machiavellian tactic, indirect exposure. You don't call them out. You don't point fingers. You just start doing so well, so visibly, that others begin praising you publicly. And when your name is spoken with respect in the same room your hater is in, they feel the shift. They feel the room turning. They lose grip, because the worst thing you can do to someone who feeds on attention is take the room away from them. Let others raise your name. Let your work speak louder than their complaints. Let your growth dismantle their gossip. And slowly, they'll become the one who looks bitter. They'll become the one out of place. They'll become the one no one takes seriously anymore. All without a single confrontation. That's Machiavelli's brilliance. Control the perception, influence the crowd, starve the enemy. And here's the final advantage. And by the time they realize what's happened, you're 10 steps ahead. They can't fix their image because their own behavior exposed them. They can't rebuild trust because your presence has already filled the space they used to control. You didn't shout, you didn't stoop, you just moved like a strategist. And in the end, you didn't destroy your hater, you made them irrelevant. Why you should never try to change a hater. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking we can change them. That if we explain ourselves well enough, if we're kind enough, patient enough, open enough, maybe, just maybe, they'll see us differently. But here's the hard truth. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you. No matter what you say, no matter how much you've grown. They've already made up their minds about you because your existence threatens them, not your behavior, not your attitude, just the fact that you're rising. Haters don't hate you because of who you are. They hate you because of who they're not. And when someone is filled with that kind of resentment, no conversation will fix it. No apology will soften it. No proof will change it. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He didn't waste time trying to win people over, because trying to convert an enemy is like watering a dead tree. It looks like effort, but it produces nothing. Instead, he focused on control, on outcomes, on never lowering himself to explain actions to people who were already looking for a reason to oppose him. Here's what you need to know. The moment you try to explain yourself to a hater, you give them power. You invite them into your emotional world, and they don't come in to understand you. They come in to destroy your foundation, one seed of doubt at a time. Have you ever noticed how the more you try to justify your dreams, your choices, or your boundaries, the more they twist your words? They don't want clarity, they want control. That's why Machiavelli would tell us, stop wasting energy on people whose only goal is to dim your light. Not because you're better than them, but because your energy deserves better. The more time you spend trying to change a hater, the less time you spend building what they hate, your success, your peace, your growth. And maybe the most powerful move you can make is to stop trying to be understood. Let them think what they want. Let them gossip. Let them laugh, because while they waste time talking about you, you're doing the one thing they can't: moving forward. Don't argue. Don't justify. Don't explain. Just rise, and let the results become the loudest silence they've ever heard. Outlast and outshine, patience and Fortuna. There's a reason the loudest people often vanish first. They burn fast, burn hot, and burn out, because hate isn't sustainable. It's an emotional fire that eventually eats itself. But discipline is different. Consistency is different. Patience, that's where power lives. Machiavelli believed that every ruler, every leader, must learn to work with Fortuna, the unpredictable force of timing and fate. He knew that those who prepare patiently, who build when no one is watching, are the ones who rise when opportunity finally opens the door. Your haters? They want a reaction now. They want to throw you off today, because they can't stand the thought of you playing a longer game than them. But here's the advantage: you don't need to respond. You need to outlast. Let them mock. Let them twist your name. Let them tell stories, gather gossip, fuel small minds. Because while they waste their energy feeding the fire, you're building. Quietly, steadily, without their permission and without their awareness. And one day, without warning, you will arrive. And when you do, you won't need to say a word. Your success will speak louder than their years of noise. That's what they fear most. Not your anger, but your ability to wait, to build in silence, to become unstoppable without giving them anything to work with. They'll try everything to drag you into their drama, but time is on your side, not theirs, because time reveals patterns. Time reveals who was truly working and who was just talking. Machiavelli once wrote, "Fortune is like a woman. If you wish to keep her under, you must beat and bully her." Now, of course, we don't take that literally, but what he meant was clear. You don't sit and hope for your moment. You prepare for it, and when it comes, you seize it without apology. That's how you outshine a hater. Not with revenge, not with arguments, but with undeniable, visible transformation. Your glow-up becomes the final blow. Your peace becomes their punishment. Your progress becomes the proof they never wanted to see. Because when your life starts speaking for itself, no rumor survives, no gossip matters, no insult sticks. And by the time they realize they wasted years watching you, you'll be too far ahead to even hear them. So remember this: you don't have to be louder. You don't have to be cruel. You just have to be relentless, patient, and focused. Outlast them, outwork them, outgrow everything they ever said about you, and in the end, they won't even be part of the story. Just a forgotten voice in the background of your victory. Control the narrative, a Machiavellian approach to silencing haters. Picture this: your haters are talking, whispering doubts, spreading lies. They want to define you, to shrink you, but you're not here to react. You're here to control the narrative. Machiavelli, the master of power, taught us that people judge based on what they see, not what's true. So shape what they see. Make your story so compelling, so undeniable, that your haters' words crumble into noise. First, project strength. People are drawn to confidence, not complaints. Don't waste breath arguing with critics. Show the world you're unstoppable. Post that project you nailed, share the goal you crushed, or talk up your next big move. For example, if a coworker trashes your work, don't snap back. Instead, let your latest win, a glowing client review or a finished task, do the talking. Their gossip fades when your results shine brighter. Next, be intentional. Machiavelli knew perception is power. Craft your image like a chess move. On social media, share moments that scream success. Maybe a photo from a conference you spoke at, or a post about a skill you're mastering. Keep it subtle, not boastful. People relate to authenticity, so let them see your hustle, not just your highlight reel. This drowns out the hater's narrative with one you control. Then, connect with your audience. People rally behind those they trust. Share a story. A struggle you overcame, a lesson you learned. Maybe you failed once, but you got back up. That vulnerability makes you human, not weak. It pulls people to your side, leaving haters isolated. When others see you as relatable yet relentless, their loyalty becomes your shield. Finally, stay consistent. Haters thrive on your slip-ups, so don't give them any. Keep showing up, delivering, and shaping the story. If someone tries to tear you down, their words will sound hollow against your track record. You're not just silencing haters, you're building a legacy they can't touch. So, go out there, control the narrative. Make every post, every action, every word a brick in the fortress of your reputation. Let the world see you as you are, unstoppable. Haters, they'll choke on their own words. They tried to break your focus. They whispered behind your back. They mocked your change. Not because you did something wrong, but because you did something they didn't have the courage to do. You moved forward, and every step you took exposed the steps they never took. Your growth, it made them uncomfortable. Your peace, it triggered their chaos. Your silence, it echoed louder than their noise ever could. But now you know the truth. You don't need to fight haters, you need to understand them. And once you do, you become untouchable. Machiavelli never asked for pity. He never begged to be understood. He built strength so solid no one could shake it. And that's exactly what you're building now. You've learned why mercy can become a trap. You've learned how fake support hides real envy. You've seen how haters use guilt and subtle doubt to control you, and how to break that grip by standing still while they fall apart. You've mastered the art of exposure, letting their own words reveal who they are. You've learned to divide, to outthink, to move in silence while they play checkers and you play chess. But more than anything, you've learned patience. How to outlast them, how to build something so undeniable, so real, so powerful, that even if they never admit it, they feel it. And when that moment comes, when you walk into the room and their voice goes quiet, that's not an accident, that's not luck, that's power, that's dominance earned in silence. Because real power doesn't announce itself. It arrives, and the people who tried to downplay you, they'll be the ones who kneel, not because you asked, but because they have no choice. So if there's one lesson you carry forward from this moment, let it be this: you never have to prove yourself to a hater. You just have to become someone they can no longer touch. Stay calm, stay focused, keep building, let the world watch, because they talked and you rose, and now they kneel. If this gave you clarity, strength, or peace, subscribe, because we don't just talk here, we learn how to win.